Follow these steps if you want to lower your cholesterol naturally. Find out what test you should be asking your doctor for, and no, it's not the standard cholesterol test. The importance of cholesterol cannot be overstated. It's needed for the liver, brain, and almost every cell in our bodies. It's essential for making vitamin D and steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The three components of cholesterol that I'm going to be talking about are HDL or high-density lipoproteins, LDL or low-density lipoproteins, and triglycerides. Cholesterol is hydrophobic by nature, meaning that it needs a carrier in order to travel throughout the bloodstream, and these carriers are called lipoproteins, HDL and LDL. It's not the total number of cholesterol that you need to worry about. It's how many particles you have that are transporting cholesterol. Let me put this into perspective. This highway represents your bloodstream. The car symbolizes LDL particles, and the people in each car signifies your total cholesterol number on a standard test. It's not the amount of people in the car that matters. It's the amount of cars in the highway. Just like more cars in the highway can increase the risk for an accident, more LDL particles carrying cholesterol puts you at greater risk for heart disease. Later in this video, I'm going to share what test you need to be asking your doctor for that gives you the particle numbers. Now, so many people focus on lowering cholesterol, but on the flip side, cholesterol lower than 160 has been linked to depression, higher mortality risk, cerebral hemorrhages, and loss of sex drive. In fact, higher mortality rates in general have lower cholesterol numbers. So what affects cholesterol between lifestyle and dietary factors? Aside from the obvious like don't smoke, don't do drugs, and don't drink in excess, doctors are now starting to recognize that sugar is a huge offender for heart disease risk. Sugar increases inflammation in the body and has been connected to heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, just to name a few. Insulin resistance is now considered a precursor for heart disease. Insulin increases the enzyme that controls cholesterol manufacturing in the body. This enzyme is called HMG-CoA reductase. This is why lowering your insulin levels can have a huge impact on lowering your cholesterol as well. So naturally, diets lower in sugar and also low in ultra-processed foods can reduce inflammation, reduce blood sugar levels, insulin resistance, and also reduce triglycerides. Yet another reason why we shouldn't regularly have ultra-processed foods in our diet. And this might come to you as a surprise, but anything that you have every single week is considered a consistent part of your diet, and so it will affect your health. If you're having fried foods and high sugar, ultra-processed foods even just one day a week, this is considered a consistent part of your diet. Save them for a very rare occasion and not consistently every week. Ultra-processed foods are basically packaged for the most part. Pastries, cookies, crackers, bread, chips, donuts, cake, pies, but it's not just the sweet stuff. It's also processed deli meats like hot dogs and frozen prepared foods. You get the picture. Ultra-processed foods are very easy to spot by looking at the ingredient list on the package. If it has a ton of ingredients on there, including some ingredients that you might not be able to pronounce or that you just have no idea what they are just by looking at them, that's a huge hint that this is an ultra-processed food. We really have so much power over many different outcomes for our health. The types of foods that we're choosing can ultimately determine how healthy we are internally. I talk many times about the gut microbiome and the emerging science of so many things that we're now just starting to find out, linking gut health to many different health conditions. So what kind of foods should you be eating? Increase your omega-3 fatty acids, so think wild-caught salmon, mackerel, sardines, vegetable sources like walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. These are all things that are high in omega-3 fatty acids. Increase fiber from vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, and make sure you're getting enough protein from lean quality food sources. Activity plays a huge part in cholesterol. In fact, increased activity has been shown to lower triglyceride levels, lower LDL, while also improving HDL cholesterol levels. But how much activity do you really need? Well, it depends on how sedentary you are. For the average person that isn't sitting around at a desk from 9 to 5, getting at minimum 30 minutes a day of moderate to vigorous activity might be enough. But if you're chained to a desk for a certain period of time, you will need more. Implement things like a desk cycle, which is a great innovative way to increase activity without actually having to get out of your seat. Now let's talk about testing. Standard cholesterol tests actually don't give you the bigger picture. You can, however, use that cholesterol test to determine if you might be at risk once you get that test from your doctor. Take your triglycerides and divide that by your HDL number. It should be 2 or less. If not, there's definitely room for concern. Ask your doctor for a fasting insulin test. This is not the same thing as the standard glucose test. Now, remember that car analogy that we were talking about earlier? In order to find out the number of particles that are transporting your cholesterol, you can ask for an NMR particle test, better known as the NMR lipoprofile test. It will give you the type of LDL and how many particles that you have, and that's what's important, not the total number of cholesterol. After confirming that you need to reduce the LDL particles, here's some great supplements that you can use along with a healthy diet. CoQ10. The body cannot work without this. It has the ability to increase ATP production, which is an energy molecule. In fact, CoQ10 is an essential part of the production of ATP. The heart is one of the major organs in the body that needs CoQ10. As we age, we create less of this, so it's actually advised to supplement. CoQ10 decreases triglycerides, fasting blood sugar, and increases HDL cholesterol. Magnesium is another great supplement. It widens the arteries, therefore lowering blood pressure, making it easier for the heart to pump blood. It also acts as a calcium channel blocker, helping with the reduction of calcium buildup in the arteries. Citrus bergamot and also berberine are beneficial components in lowering triglycerides and also lowering blood sugar. For more information and other supplements on how to help lower your cholesterol levels, read this book. A link will be in the description of the video. And for free, valuable health and fitness information, subscribe to my weekly newsletter. The link will be in the description of this video. Watch this video next on the ingredient that you do not want in your food.